Welcome to the Social Lens and thank you for watching. In recent weeks, growing concerns and calls for intervention have emerged as the Zimbabwean crisis deepens. The Southern African Development Community, SADC, and the African Union, AU, have come under increased pressure to address the deteriorating political and humanitarian situation in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean crisis took a new turn when the SADC Troika, composed of Zambia, South Africa, and Botswana, expressed its deep concern regarding the personal attacks directed at the Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema and Nevers Mumba. These attacks stem from their roles in heading the SADC's observer mission during the recent Zimbabwean elections. President Hichilema, who also chairs the bloc's organ on politics, defense, and security, appointed Nevers Mumba to lead the observer mission. The SADC Troika convened a virtual meeting to scrutinize the observer mission's report on the Zimbabwean elections. The report painted a bleak picture of the electoral process, revealing that it failed to meet international and regional standards. This revelation has raised questions about the legitimacy of the election and sparked discussions about possible interventions by SADC and the African Union. The SADC Observer Mission report presented a damning assessment of the Zimbabwean elections. It highlighted a series of irregularities and shortcomings that raised serious doubts about the credibility and fairness of the electoral process. The report documented incidents of electoral violence and intimidation, particularly in opposition strongholds. There were reports of physical assaults on opposition candidates and supporters, which marred the electoral environment. The mission raised concerns about voter suppression tactics employed in some areas, including the limited access to polling stations in opposition strongholds. This raised doubts about the inclusivity of the electoral process. Transparency issues were also cited, including a lack of access to the voter roll and inadequate monitoring of the counting and tallying of votes. These factors cast doubt on the transparency and fairness of the electoral process. The report highlighted a bias in state-owned media, which favored the ruling party and limited the opposition's access to public discourse. This biased media coverage undermined the principles of fair competition in the elections. This assessment has fueled international concerns and calls for a swift response from SADC and the AU. Various governments, regional bodies, and international organizations have expressed their worries and called for urgent action to address the crisis. As a regional bloc committed to promoting stability and democracy in Southern Africa, SADC is expected to play a pivotal role in resolving the Zimbabwean crisis. The African Union, as the continent's premier organization, has also faced calls to intervene. Its commitment to upholding democratic norms and human rights places it in a unique position to address the situation and facilitate dialogue between Zimbabwe's political stakeholders. Zimbabwean civil society organizations and activists have been at the forefront of raising awareness about the crisis. They have called for international solidarity and support in their quest for democracy, human rights, and social justice in Zimbabwe. In a related development, Professor Ibo Manoza delivered a thought-provoking lecture at the Oliver Tambo School of Leadership. The lecture, titled The State of Democracy in the SADC Region, a reflection on the national elections of Zimbabwe, provided valuable insights into the broader context of democracy within the SADC region, with a specific focus on Zimbabwe's recent elections. Professor Manoza, a renowned academic and political analyst, began by contextualizing the Zimbabwean crisis within the larger framework of democracy and governance in the SADC region. He emphasized the importance of holding free and fair elections as a cornerstone of democratic governance. The professor went on to discuss the specific challenges faced by Zimbabwe in recent elections, echoing many of the concerns raised by the SADC Observer Mission. He emphasized the need for genuine political dialogue, inclusivity, and respect for the rule of law as crucial elements in addressing the crisis. Furthermore, he stressed the role of regional and international bodies, including SADC and the AU, in promoting democratic governance and ensuring adherence to democratic norms. As the crisis continues to deepen, it is imperative for regional and international stakeholders to engage constructively with Zimbabwe's political leadership and civil society to find a peaceful and democratic solution. Professor Manoza's public lecture serves as a reminder of the broader challenges facing the SADC region in upholding democratic values and principles. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the course of action taken by SADC, the AU, and the international community to address the Zimbabwean crisis and ensure the protection of democracy and human rights in the region. If you found this video informative, please click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time.